everybody, Mike Boone, legal instructor from Blue to Gold, out here doing a roadside chat at the gun show. So our question today comes from, the great state of Missouri, Springfield, as a matter of fact. And I want anybody that's watching this from the Springfield area to put in the comments when you watch this where the best place to get cashew chicken is. And for those of you in the area, you know what I'm talking about. The rest of you, go check it out. All right, so here's the question. Searches of a person without a warrant, without an arrest, but with probable cause that something illegal or evidentiary is on a person. Can that person be searched? This comes up in shoplifting a lot. Generally, the advice is to just arrest them and then search incident to arrest. And yes, this question comes up a lot when we're talking about our shoplifting cases. And there's no clear-cut line or clear-cut cases yet that are giving us guidance. But we've got a few courts out there that are giving us some guidance as to what and how to handle these type of things. And really the bottom line is this. You respond to a store and someone's in custody for stealing a bag or a watch, whatever it may be, and loss prevention has detained them, but they have not yet recovered their evidence or their property back there. And the question that comes up all the time is, well, can we search this person if we're not going to take and make that custodial arrest? All right. Well, first things first here. If you're going to arrest them, like the officers here said, well, the advice is just to arrest them and do search incident to arrest. All right. Well, let's talk about search incident to arrest. This is triggered when you are making a custodial arrest and you are physically taking that person to jail. Now, they're going to jail, you get search incident to arrest. No other components come to that. You get a full and complete search of that person. But the question that we always comes up with us is, well, maybe my state doesn't allow me to arrest a person for stealing property under a certain threshold of money or some other conditions that have been going on here. But, I want to cite them and release them. What do I do about this evidence? And the answer is yes. Yes, under most circumstances, you're going to be able to search them in a limited search where you believe that item is. And there's a few factors that come in with this here. One, do you have probable cause that evidence is on them? What would you tell your judge if you had to convince a judge about what's going on here? Hey, Your Honor, here's why I think that they have evidence on them. Loss prevention saw them take the item, they put it in their bag, they kept them under constant surveillance. They walked outside of the store. They didn't make any attempts to pay. They detained them outside, and we've had them here since. So we, there's definitely probable cause that the evidence is inside that. One, can you ask for consent for the person to give it back? Of course. But if they say no, that's where this question comes in. And here is when we can do this. There is an exigency, an urgency for us to get that evidence back. Because if we don't recover it now, if we give them a court order, if the DA say give them the Deuces Tecum order, which essentially means bring it with you, right? If we tell the crook, all right, you're getting a citation today for petty larceny, but also when your court date happens here in 2 or 3 months, I need you to bring the evidence with you. All right, is that realistically what's going to happen? The answer is no. That evidence is going to be destroyed. That evidence is going to be gotten rid of. They're not going to bring it back for us to use as evidence against them. And that is part of what we need. So essentially, you must articulate why there's that probable cause. Articulate the exigency that I need to get this now or it's going to be gone forever. And then when it comes to actually doing that search, well, you got to look where the item could reasonably be found. If, again, like you're looking for someone stole a watch, let's say. Well, you've got to go somewhere. If you believe it's in their bag, well, the search is going to be contained in the bag. You don't get to search the person. You don't get a full search of their socks or their pockets or anything like that. It's a limited, targeted search based on exigency that you have probable cause that there's evidence inside or where they're taking there. And that's how we're going to get that stuff back. And the variation in that is, custodial versus non-custodial. If you take them to jail anyway, well, then search incident to arrest. But what you've got to understand in your states is, can I make this arrest or is it a cite and release? And that's going to be depending on where you're working and the jurisdictions you're in. So make sure you're paying attention to that. But to wrap it all up, The answer is yes. If you've got probable cause that there's evidence on this person, there's an exigency because you won't get that evidence back or it'll be destroyed. You can do a limited and targeted search on that. Someday, the Supreme Court is going to look at this and they're going to give us much clearer guidance on this. But this is my thoughts on this. This is, I think, where we're at now. It's reasonable. Because if not, what are we going to do? Are we going to hold this person, get an arrest warrant? It depends where you're working. Could take an hour or two. Essentially, that's going to be an arrest anyway, de facto arrest type thing. Some of these other factors in doing so. It's not reasonable to do so. It's very limited, very targeted, and then you can give them their citation, recover the store's evidence, and get them on their way. All right, I hope that helps. Again, as always, like, subscribe, send us questions, bluetogold.com if you like what we're doing out here. And again, thank you for you're all watching this show here, and get yourself some 511 pants, right? Take care.